It's the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Thursday morning, December 10th. I'm James Spann. Near record warmth as the weekend begins, and the chance of severe weather as the weekend wraps up. A lot of things to discuss, so here we go. Things are quiet this morning across the state with a fairly dry air mass in place. Got some high clouds to the west, and we will see cloudy periods the next few days, but the next big rain event will be coming from that system back in the Pacific Northwest. Very powerful system slamming into the coast there, and that will be translating across the Rockies and affecting us late in the weekend. Starting off this day in the 40s in most spots, Birmingham 48. We've got some dense fog problems. Those counties in gray, that's a dense fog advisory to start the day. That includes Tuscaloosa, Fayette, Jasper, Haleyville, Hamilton, Cullman. That should dissipate by mid-morning, and you can see the dense fog advisories extend all the way from Brownsville, Texas to Cincinnati. And back in the western states, we've got high wind warnings, winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings, very unsettled weather conditions there. Of course, convection, that will be the focus of this discussion. This is the day 3 convective outlook. This is for Saturday. The standard slight risk for cities like Dallas, Houston, Fort Smith, Arkansas, Shreveport, Louisiana. A marginal risk extending up to Kansas City. And on day 4, which is Sunday, and this carries through Sunday night into very early Monday morning. This period ends at 6 a.m. Monday. The 15% chance, and that will be the standard slight risk for basically all of Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and some of the adjacent states. And that'll obviously be the focus of this discussion. And the rain for the next 5 days, valid through Tuesday morning of next week, about 1 inch for the northwestern corner, with lighter amounts as you work your way south and east. We'll kind of walk you through this thing day by day. This is the GFS, the 06Z run, valid today at noon. One shortwave over the Midwest. You can see that powerhouse storm in the Pacific Northwest. But again, things nice and quiet here today. And a very mild afternoon. We'll expect to be in the upper 60s with a partly sunny sky. Tomorrow, a good chance we touch 70. In fact, many spots will see low 70s. The sky will be cloudy at times. We can't rule out the chance of a shower, but the chance is so small, we're not going to mention it in the formal forecast for now. Saturday, we'll be approaching record highs. The GFS is at 73. The NAM is at 72. The record 78 set in 1971. A mix of sun and clouds, and again, the chance of rain so small, we're not going to mention it. All right, here we go. Sunday, you can see our powerful trough to the west digging down through Texas. In midday Sunday, a surface low should be south of Columbia, Missouri, 995 millibars, with a band of storms with a trailing front. During the day Sunday, I think mostly dry. Could there be a shower? Yes, but mostly dry. It will become rather windy. And again, very balmy with temperatures up in the low 70s Sunday afternoon. Thought we would check the NAM since we now can see Sunday at noon with that model. It runs out to 84 hours. And again, it's got the band of storms pretty far to the west at midday Sunday over Arkansas and Louisiana. This is Sunday night at midnight, 12 a.m. Monday. Surface low is near Madison, Wisconsin, down to 979 millibars. And the band of storms moving in here. All right, let's check the severe weather parameters. Dew points, Sunday evening, 6 o'clock. Low 60s around here. And again, anytime you get dew points in the low 60s in December, that's kind of a red flag. But again, this is the big limiting, factor here is the lack of instability. This is the surface-based CAPE, convective available potential energy, and there's just not very much. Now, it doesn't take a lot for severe weather in December, but the elapse rates are very poor, and the instability values are pretty low, and that's a good thing. That will limit the overall threat, but boy, the wind fields are screaming. Low-level jet, that's in excess of 70 knots in a few spots over North Alabama. Those numbers are ramping up. So, again, with thunderstorms, a lot of that will be transferred down to the surface. So, no doubt with the squall line coming through, that will be the main threat. Strong, maybe damaging straight-line winds. I think no doubt we're going to see some tree and power line damage Sunday night from this band of storms. This is the storm relative helicity, 0 to 3 kilometers. And, again, those numbers are very high. in excess of 600 units. So, again, there could be a few small spin-up tornadoes within the line of storms. Those are almost impossible to warn for. They touch down, they last for a few minutes, they're gone. But just be aware of that possibility. And again, this is the bulk shear between the surface and 925 millibars, and that's in excess of 40 knots. And again, that would represent certainly a chance of areas of rotation within that line in those small tornadoes that don't last long, and they're very problematic to deal with. Analogs, and again, understand this is 15 events put down together. This doesn't mean you're going to get all that in one event. This is a combined 15-event look, taking the top 15 analogs. And similar events have produced some tornadoes. And, of course, a lot of damaging wind reports, the blue dots. And one more look. This is the European valid Sunday evening at 6 o'clock. And again, this is just suggesting. And again, the European's been very consistent and has performed very well this year. And you can see we're still mostly dry at that point. So in terms of the timing, our window at 6 p.m. Sunday until 4 a.m. Monday is the main window for strong to severe storms. And, of course, we'll watch it carefully. We'll ride through this thing together. And, of course, as we get closer, confidence will continue to get higher in the forecast. Monday, everything's out of here. Monday will be a day with maybe a clearing skies. We get into a dry slot. The high dropping to around 60. There's no real cold air involved here. This is Tuesday. We're dry. Low to mid-60s. Same thing Wednesday. And this is Thursday, troughing to the west, and moisture starts to build, but this run a little slower than recent runs. And this is Friday. That's an interesting look. Friday, December 18th. Pretty good rain event for us with a little band of snow back in the colder air for southern Illinois, Indiana, and up into Ohio. And this is the end of the forecast period. This is Saturday the 19th. Still troughing to the west, but we are in a cooler and drier air mass if this verifies. We'll check temperatures for the next 15 days. Carries out to Christmas Day. Look at those low 70s over the weekend. You'll be out there in your tank tops and flip-flops. Next week we cool down, but the really cooler air doesn't get in here until Friday, Saturday, the 18th and 19th. Highs dropping in the low 50s. But again, there's no evidence of any, brutally cold air. And the ensembles here for Christmas Day printing a high of 57, which is exactly where we should be for that time of the year. And, of course, that will probably change. And this is a look at the anomalies Christmas from the European. Now, it's going to be cold in the west, but for the eastern third of the United States, temperatures would seem to be a little above average on Christmas Day. And where we are, pretty close to average. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video this morning. We'll have notes in the blog. Next video here by 4 o'clock this afternoon. If you can't catch us this evening on the live stream or the television side, ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.